Well, today, taking a little trip out to Fort Hamilton, which sits on the end of Sandy Hook in New Jersey. It's a popular spot. Used to be a federal facility that's pretty much abandoned today. Beautiful scenery, and it's a lot of fun to visit some of the old landmarks. At one time, in World War II, there was anti-aircraft battalion here, and some of the remains of those facilities are still there. Later, Nike rockets were placed in strategic points, and it's meant to protect New York City. Catch you later when we get a little closer to some of these sites. Well, this doesn't quite fall into the category of being a kiosk, but it generally depicts what we might find out here if we were exploring. Here are some of the old barracks that have been pretty much allowed to fall into disrepair. You'll see more later on. This was for either the military or some of the training programs that take place out here. In the background, you can see the old lighthouse. We'll get closer to that, but that was a historic monument in its day, and it's preserved as a museum piece today. Can you imagine what it must have been like to live in these facilities and these barracks back in the day? What a view. Beautiful place. There's my wife Pat in the background there. Here we see some of the old anti-aircraft facilities that we used during the war to protect New York City. I'll have to tell you more about them later on. We actually broke into them and explored them at one point when I was with the Boy Scouts. Here we are with a kind of a panoramic view of the book. Swing around here, and eventually we're going to look over to New York City, see part of the New York City skyline. Sorry if it's a little blurry. Turkey's on the other end of the camera. Anyway, it's a beautiful day to be out here. I had promised to tell you a story about going in these tunnels underneath these batteries, and as scouts we found an entrance that was barred, and one of the my big buddy John bent the bars and we sneaked inside. And I will have to tell you, it was cool. It was dark and it was gloomy and it was dangerous. And the metal railings that trolleys that ran all the armaments up to the guns were falling off the ceiling. There were big holes, gaps in the walls and in the floor that you could fall through, and it was pitch black. And I remember going through there and saying that it was so dark that it sucked the light right out of my flashlight. And one of the kids who was walking with me says, "Mr. Muntz, you still have your sunglasses on." Anyway, this is a little outside view. I'll share some still shots from the old days later on.